Hello, everyone, and welcome to this session of Innovation in Revenue Management. And before I announce the guest speakers, I want to give you guys a little bit information about revenue management. Revenue management has cracked the code on never settling for the status quo. Over the past 5 years, revenue management has focused on innovative ways to complete job tasks more efficiently by improving processes, system enhancements, and developing people. In 2018, this team worked over 2 million exceptions. As a result of their collective efforts, by 2023, the number of exceptions worked was under 250,000. Our guest speakers for today are Eric Davis and Sloan Slaughter. Today's session is going to be more conversational with me talking with Sloan and Eric and asking questions. Now, the first question I want to ask to kick this conversation off to you, Eric, what is an exception? And I say that because we hear the word exceptions a lot, but I'm not really sure a lot of people know what that means because those are really big numbers to say in 2018, you guys worked over 2 million exceptions and now you're under that and you're working 250,000.
Yes, Lashunda. So first of all, let me say thank you for having us today. We love sharing our story and talking about all the changes that we've made in revenue management over the past several years. But an exception it's what we do in revenue management. So when a system is unable to process something due to a number of reasons, I think we have well over 100 categories of exceptions. One that's kind of an elementary type exception would be a high-low exception. So a bill comes in, it's higher than it ever has been over the last 12 months. We want someone to look at that, so the system will process an exception and flag it for someone to look at, make sure it's correct before we send it out the door. So that's an example of an exception.
Okay, thank you. Now, I want to know, and I know the audience wants to know, how did we get from 2 million to 250,000? What, when you look at your team and I'm assuming you were like, okay, how can we decrease this number? What do we need to implement? What do we need to do? Tell me, what did you discover and how did you know there was a need for change?
Well, in one word, it comes back to communication. So we started digging in back in early 2019, and we were having a lot of leadership sessions early in that year, and we were asking ourselves the questions: what are we doing, and why are we doing it? Is our group structured correctly? What's our vision? Do we have a vision? And that gave us one perspective, but we felt like that didn't give us all the perspective that we needed. And so we started talking with team members. To this day, every year, I am able to carve out time to have a session with every team member in revenue management at least twice a year. We saw that as a formula that worked for us in 2019, and we've carried that forward. The reason why that's so important, we do that in smaller group sessions of about 6 to 8 people, is because we want to gain the perspective of everyone. We want to make sure that we're not just speaking at the leadership level, because that is one perspective, and we're talking strategically there, and we're talking about what we feel like we might be able to do, what direction we might be able to go. But we also want to hear from everyone that's a part of the revenue management organization, because that's where the real ideas come from. And that's what we discovered very quickly. The other thing that we started to do was we started to really look at data in a way that we had never really done before. We wanted to understand where our work was coming from. Once it left our hands, where was it going? What are the partnering organizations that we work with all the time? What are the processes that we have that touch those other organizations? Are we doing anything that could be slowing them down? And the same would be true. We wanted to look at, do we have any processes that are upstream or downstream of us that we felt like we could be better partners? And then also just the collaboration opportunities across the organization. we are not a fan of working in silos. We want to understand what our work is doing and how it's impacting other people, and really what our responsibilities are here at Encore. And so when we started to really look at that, um, it was a natural uh, uh, pathway for us to look at all of our processes. We that for the first 2 years that we did this, we looked at 100% of our processes every year, and we said what could change, what is possible. And throughout all of those conversations and all of those efforts, we were able to develop what we call our revenue management themes. And that's based on real feedback. We were hearing things like, we want more development opportunities. Why do we only focus on errors? What can we do to increase morale? We want someone to listen to our ideas, those kinds of things. And because of that, we developed 5 themes that we still live by today. And those 5 themes are focus, measure, develop, morale, and accountability. Yeah, these are exactly these quotes that you see on the screen here. These are actual quotes out of some of those very first sessions that we had back in 2019, which then ultimately developed the themes that we still live by today in revenue management.
Okay, so I want to ask another question because I just thought about this. The 2 million exceptions what had that number was that number continuing to increase? Like in 2018, you worked over 2 million. What was it in 2017 when you guys saw that this number was steady increasing? You were like, okay, we gotta look at this and see what's going on, why these numbers increasing, and what can we do to decrease them?
Yeah, so in 2017, if you'll remember, in November of 2017, we went live with Oracle's customer care and billing platform, which is CCMB. So in 2017, we really cast a wide net as a result of the project because we wanted to make sure that we were going in to our new production world in 2018 with our eyes wide open. We wanted to catch anything that could even possibly be an exception because we had risk associated with going live with a new platform. So we made sure that we did cast that net wide. But we learned quickly in 2018, it's a wide net and it's a lot of work. As a result of that, we had an organization that we were just keeping our head above water. We had 85 team members at that time. We were working overtime almost every day. It was a little bit of a chaotic environment on some days, and so we were doing everything we could just to keep our head above water and make sure that there was no customer impact outside of the walls of Encore. But we knew we could do better. We knew that there were going to be opportunities to gain efficiencies. We just had to ask the right questions. We had to talk to the right people that were doing the work. We had to look at the data that was coming in that we had available to us in a different way than maybe we had ever done before. And that's exactly what we did. And so, on top of that, we started looking at all of our processes and our people. Do we need to develop new skill sets? What are some of the other things that may tie into this that we're hearing from our folks in revenue management? And we made some major changes in 2018, I'm sorry, starting in 2019. So much so that, to your point, we've just had kind of the domino effect throughout the last 5 years, and where I can sit here today and tell you that the revenue management team is now 59 people strong instead of 85 people strong. That reduction in force came from natural attrition. Not one person was let go as a result of our efforts. And we have reduced the exception volume that we actually have to touch by 88.61% in that time frame. So it's an incredible story. It's an incredible testament to the folks that work in revenue management who continue to bring forward their ideas because everyone in revenue management knows that they have a voice. They realize that if they bring up an idea, no matter how far-fetched it may seem, that we are going to take that idea and we're going to run with it. And if there's something possible that we can do with that idea, we will implement it.
Okay, now I want to go back here. I want to bring this slide up because you said something very important. You said you were able to decrease your workforce, your team. And they may sound scary to a little bit of people, to some people that's listening right now. Now, the slide we have up right now, this is the original operating model, which you said you guys were just keeping your head afloat, right? You were doing overtime. You had a lot of work, and then you did some restructuring, and now you have the new operation model. Could you talk about a little bit this operation model, and what is the main difference between this one and the previous old operation model that you guys have?
If you'll go to the previous slide there, Lashunda. So what you'll see in this original operating model was you really had one path in your career development. You could go from a specialist to a specialist senior to a business analyst and then to leadership. And what you'll find interesting at the bottom of this slide is all the big yellow boxes are the same. And so you see that everybody is really responsible for everything, which I really translate into that nobody is really responsible for anything. That's how I kind of read that. And so as part of the themes that you see on the right side of focus, measure, development, morale, and accountability, we wanted to make sure we created an environment where everybody felt like and realized that their experience in the organization was going to be directly attributed to what they put into it. And so if you flip to the new model, what this model actually shows you is really several things. The thing that really first jumps off the page, you can see all the arrows pointing across the organization. We have clear defined areas of delineation within revenue management of who's responsible for what. We also have career paths that can jump from one team to another at any time. We wanted to make sure that everybody has an equal opportunity to create their own outcomes in the organization. And that's exactly what this model has been able to help us do. And then also, and I'll ask Sloan to speak to this because this is the team that she owns. We added a new team, which is all the way over to the right, which we call the Operational Excellence Team. And that team was stood up in 2019, in September of 2019, with Sloan the leader. And what we wanted to accomplish and what we're still accomplishing with this team was we wanted to have a place where all these ideas that the organization brings up, where we had a place where they could funnel those ideas, and then this team could take those ideas and run with them and see what we can implement across the organization. So I asked Sloan to speak a little bit to the Operational Excellence Team and what that means for revenue management.
Sure. Thank you, Eric. And Lashunda, thank you for having me. I couldn't be more happy about being a part of Innovation Week. So this is so exciting. But yeah, I really think the Operational Excellence Team, that concept of having dedicated employees that can focus on improvement was really a key in all of this. You know, when you have extreme high numbers like we had, it was hard to take time and work on improvement and implement improvement. And even we really struggled having time sharing ideas of where we thought improvements might exist. But really that was a big key to this. You know, once we got into that new organization with the mindset of a focused team on improvement and gaining efficiencies, that's when we really started to see some change. Once we started implementing those first changes and got some of the volume down, then that really opened it up for more opportunities. And it was really Eric that gave us that opportunity to really put focus on improvement instead of just getting the daily work done from day to day. we have some great, talented people in revenue management. They've had great ideas. We just didn't have the bandwidth to move forward with them. And that's exactly what the operational excellence team gave us. And so I really kind of see the entire revenue management group as a member of operational excellence, because all of the ideas and things that we push forward in that group are coming from the resources, all the resources within revenue management. So it's definitely been a success for us and very exciting to see.
So I want to ask this question. Now, you guys did some reorganization. I want to know, how did you identify who had what skill set and who would work best, whether it's on the operational excellence team or some of the other groups? Or was it that employees came to you guys and said, hey, I would like to do this, I would like to learn this? Like, how did you guys, I guess, redeploy those skills, or maybe use skills that you didn't know someone had, and you were able to help them pull those skills out and apply it to the new structure?
Yeah, I would say it's a little bit of both, LaShunda.
Mhm.
So we had to start somewhere, right? And if you're not starting, then you're standing still, and I'm not very comfortable standing still. Anybody who knows me knows that. So we did originally carve out who we thought would be best set in each of the teams. But that quickly changed in 2019 as we started to realize what the needs of the organization were. We always encourage. There's a big word that we use in revenue management all the time, and if you talk to anyone in revenue management, they will say, "Yes, Eric always says this," but that word is opportunity. And we want people to be serious about taking advantage of opportunities. So we ask them to speak up if there's something that they want to do. If there's something you want to do different, if there's something a new skill set that you want to learn, if we have projects that are going on inside of revenue management or that we're partnering with outside of the organization and you want to be a part of that, we want you to speak up. And so as a result of that, we've really established a group and a dynamic in our group and a culture, if you will, of where people really have embraced that they are in charge of their own career. They are in charge of taking the next step. And our job as leaders in the organization is to make sure that we are creating that equal opportunity for everyone. And so I think that that's been adopted very well as we've gone through this change. And we're on the cusp of some even bigger things that I know we're going to talk about here later. But even with the bigger things that we're talking about, we have people raising their hands every day and saying, "Hey, I want to be a part of that. How do I do this?" And so we keep those lines of communication open. We make sure that as leaders, we are tapping into the potential that we have within our organization, and that we're continuing to grow that potential as well.
I like that. What I like about this, and what I'm hearing, is that you guys created an environment that has opportunity. And I'm pretty sure that makes the employees more excited, more engaging. They're excited to learn new things, because that's going to improve their skill set, or increase their skill set, where they'll be able to apply that maybe somewhere else on the team. Now, Sloan, I want to ask you, for someone who has been in revenue management for many years, what has this transformation journey been like for you?
Well, it's just so exciting to see our employees grow, have the opportunity to bring forth ideas. I mean, it's almost like they feel empowered now, right? They finally have a chance to get their voice heard, and bring forth their ideas, and not only that, they're also getting the opportunity to see the benefits of their ideas. Once we actually implement something that came from just an ideal of improvement, to see the actual reduction in the workload or the improvement in the process, it's just so rewarding, and you can see that on their face when that happens. But yeah, the things that we have been able to done just over these short number of years is very impressive to me. And I can see that our employees are also impressed with our results and themselves for being able to accomplish this. So it's the morale and everything in revenue management is better than I have ever seen it.
That's so awesome to hear. I want to ask, with the morale being better, it's higher. Do you guys feel like people on your team, they're really more focused on their career development here at Encore? Because I know, sometimes it can be difficult to understand where your next step is going to be in your career, right? Sometimes, depending on what group you're in, there may not be a clear defined career path. So do you guys see, Sloan, that the people on the team, your team members, your employees, they are really excited about their career development plan and getting excited about what their next step could look like here at Encore?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I can't, like, they're so engaged with everything now. And they're seeing the opportunities to grow. Most recently, we're starting new projects now where we're actually giving them opportunities to increase technical skills. And I think really people are getting to see the benefits of that. So for so long we just kind of did the same thing, over and over again, and we never really got the chance to or have the time to get out and kind of just expand our knowledge in different areas and understand what our each individual capabilities were. And now they're getting the chance to see that, and I think they're even surprising themselves of what they are able to do. So yeah, I mean, they're excited. They're always asking for more opportunities and looking to learn something new and surprising themselves with what their capabilities are. So yeah, I couldn't be more happy about the future of revenue management and really getting to see what the skills and talents are of the folks that we have. Honestly, I'm hoping that we can continue building that career path even within revenue management, so they won't want to leave revenue management because I mean, it's just impressive what they've done.
I like that you said they are able to learn a new skill, like their what do you say, IT technology skills. Let me ask you, and I know we're going to talk about what's coming up next that may be a part of this, but what are you guys doing to allow them to be able to either learn a new skill or increase a skill set that they have? Like, are they taking Udemy classes, or is it they are being put on projects, or you sending them out to conferences? Or what are you guys doing to help them tap in and learn a new skill or increase or build on a skill that they already have?
So yes, and yes,
Okay.
all of that. Again, when we were able to lower those volumes and free up time, they have time now to take Udemy courses. Most recently, they've been taking courses in SQL Developer, right? Expanding their query skills. And that, I mean, we're so data driven in revenue management. Those type skills are just invaluable to us. So we even have folks that kind of are taking the lead, taking these courses, really expanding their skills in it, and they're hosting, I guess you could say, little mini seminars and helping train others within revenue management. So we're developing trainers, we're developing skills, and most important, people are taking advantage of it. We really don't have anyone that sits back and just lets others do it. They're all putting in for, effort and wanting to jump in and learn the skills. So we have a lot of really good participation. We are engaging just about everyone that wants to be engaged, in which they all are, in projects. So every time we have a new idea of something that we can improve or gain efficiencies on, we're not looking for people to join the team. They're all volunteering to join the team and kind of move forward with it. So yeah, that's exactly how we're doing it. We created time for us to go that direction, and that's really what's helped us.
You know what? I absolutely love that. You guys created time by decreasing this workload, giving the employees an opportunity to learn a new skill set. Over the past few years, if you go out here and read anything, any articles on the internet or attend the conferences, you hear them talking about the disruptors, the AI, and all this stuff, and how skills are really going to be needed. Redeploying employees within the company. And I've always wondered, like, if employees are so busy with their day-to-day work, how are they going to get the time to learn a new skill besides after work hours? Because let's be honest, when people leave work, sometimes they don't want to go home and turn on the computer to study something, right? But for you guys to say we have created an environment where we decrease work, and that now allows them time to learn something new that's going to be beneficial and contribute back to the team, and that's only going to increase processes, increase anything else, improvement on anything else that you guys have coming along. I absolutely love that. Kudos to you guys for that. That's really major. It's really major.
And I wanted to add one more thing to that. Not only have we decreased volume, our customer base is rapidly growing. So, especially over the last 5 years where we have actually decreased volume, all of that has been done while our customer base continues to improve. So, had we not made this change and these improvements, then we would really be struggling with the volume right now. So it really has worked for us.
So give me an example, because I like that. I like what I'm hearing. It's also improving our customer base. How is that improving the customer base?
Well, what I'm saying is the growth in Texas is just leaps and bounds, right? We're seeing the customer base is growing. So our volume of Easy IDs is growing year to year. So I can't imagine where our volumes would be now had we not made those improvements.
Okay.
So we're still keeping the volume down and trending downward, even though the customer base
increasing.
Volume is increasing. So it really has helped us greatly.
Wow, you guys most definitely were innovative and forward thinking, and I like that we're talking about. And the session before this was about virtual reality, so that's innovative and new. But I like how we're hearing from you guys of how you have been innovative in your group with restructuring the team, improving processes, finding ways for employees to work on their employee development, learn new skills. I'm getting excited just talking to you guys about this. This is really awesome. So I want to ask you guys, because I know you got some exciting things coming, and I want to go ahead and talk about it. What's the next big thing that's coming for revenue management?
Yeah, so LaShonda, I'll speak to that a little bit. As Sloan was saying, the growth in Texas right now is it's really on a glide path straight up. And we did have some foresight in working with our Vice President, Daniel Hall, several years ago when we started to implement all these things. And we were talking about that growth and how we needed to be prepared for that. And so everything that we've done over the last 5 years has prepared us for this moment, for what we're doing right now. And so we are actually in the process. We kicked off a project last year where we are in the process of building a standalone application, partnering with our technology partners here at Encore, that is going to be specific to revenue management. And that is called RMK, or Kaleidoscope, that we like to call it. And what that means for us, as you can see here, the kaleidoscope, if you're familiar with what a kaleidoscope is, there's all these pieces and parts. To us, that's people and data and systems and processes and ideas and customers and you name it. All these different parts that are moving. But for us, it really symbolizes this environment of change and an environment of possibilities that they won't end, right? We're always going to be moving. We are always going to be looking for what is the next best thing. And the very first iteration of this that we are going to roll out later this year is something that we're calling automated research. And so we're going to use, automation and data analytics and all the different things that we tap into today in a much different uh, realm than what we're able to do right now. Ultimately, what Kaleidoscope's going to do for us in the very beginning is it's going to stop us from having to swivel chair to all the different systems that we use on a daily basis. It's going to present all the data from all the systems that we use in one common place for the user. And it's going to have that to a point where they're able and ready to make a decision on that data instead of having to, like I said, swivel chair to CCNB and MDMS and ODS and all these different places. So we're really excited about that. We are developing new skill sets, as Sloan talked about earlier, along with working with our technology partners here in TMC. And TMC is an organization that pushes transformation, and we love being at the forefront of seeing what is possible. That is just something that we've embraced as an organization, and we are considered. I know that we're considered a growth mindset organization, and we're going to continue that. We're never going to be satisfied that what we're doing today is enough for what we're going to need to do for our customers and for our employees tomorrow. And so we're always going to be looking to set a new standard here in revenue management.
I just gotta say it again, because you said this new program is coming. Data, the way you guys use data, you look at data, it's going to be different. And once again, the employees are having the opportunity to learn about SQL, and I'm assuming data science, whatever other Udemy courses that they're taking, and they'll be able to use that knowledge and apply it. They won't feel like they got left behind, or they won't feel like, oh, I'm stuck, I can't move forward with what's going on. I just really I like that, because I am all about employee development. And I hope other people who are on here listening today, they really listen to what you guys are doing and saying, because this is something that can be, implemented in other organizations. And Sloan, that leads to my question for you. What advice or words of wisdom do you have for other organizations out here that are looking to be more innovative? Because as we know, we've been hearing 2030 is coming, and we have to be prepared for what's coming along so we can be able to handle the increase in the customers. So what words of advice or wisdom do you have for other people?
I would have to say, just never be satisfied where you are. Always room for improvement. Seek ways to better yourself, better your team, better your organization, better your company. Just don't sit idle. Always look for areas where you can see changes happening. It's so many people that I've, over the years, you just get stuck in a rut, like I said earlier, just where you just can't, you're just trying to keep your head above the water, get the work done by before batch kicks off tonight, because you've got so much work in front of you. Always look for improvements. That's one of my pet peeves, is when you ask someone, what changes would you make? And they say, well, I like things the way they are. I really don't see any change needed. There's always need for change. And I think once you accept that and really start seeking out those opportunities, it's just worth every minute of it, every effort that you make. It's just, the opportunities are just amazing. So just, don't get satisfied. Don't get complacent. Look for opportunities.
Eric, do you have any words of advice or wisdom to share additional to what Sloan just provided or shared with us?
Sure. When I first was able to come back to revenue management, I was obviously very excited about the opportunity. And in the very first all hands meeting that we had, I was asked, what's your ultimate goal for revenue management? And that's a pretty wide question to ask. You can answer that in many different ways, but my answer was, and I'll never forget it. I said, I want revenue management to be one of the most attractive places to work at Encore, if not the most attractive. That's what I want. And I'll tell you, there were some laughs in the room when I said that. Um, but I think we've accomplished that. The team has worked so hard over the last several years to set a standard that one of the questions I always got the first year I was here also was, what do I have to do to be promoted? And people were looking for kind of this sheet of paper with a bunch of boxes that you can check, and then okay, once I've done those, I can be promoted. And the answer that we have as a leadership team back to the individual every time is, I don't know what you have to do what do you have to do to be promoted? And we put that responsibility and that accountability back on the individual. Because ultimately, if you set the standard that ultimately others are going to be measured by, you're going to put yourself in the best position to take the next step in your career. And just like it works for the individual, that's what we've seen work for revenue management. We want to be the organization here at Encore that sets the standard that ultimately others will be measured by. And we want to be on the forefront of change. We want to blaze a trail that others will want to come with us on the journey that we're taking. And so if anyone here on this call today wants to learn more about the steps that we've taken and what we've done to effectuate change in this organization, we love to share our story. So reach out to myself, reach out to Sloan, anyone else on our leadership team, and we would love to sit down with you and talk about our journey. And if you want, us to take a look and help you start your own journey, we would be more than willing to help you out with that.
I absolutely love that. Is there anyone out here? Let me check the chat to see if we have any questions coming in from you guys. If you have a question, or if you like what you're hearing, drop a comment in the chat. Let us know, what do you think about this? I just think this is, once again, I'm just going to keep saying it. It's awesome. It's innovative. And once again, for employees to have the opportunity to learn a new skill and not feel like they're getting left behind and feel like they don't have to compete with new competition. I mean, that's a thing too, right? They can go learn those same things that the new people are coming in with and be able to compete as well. I just love it. I'm big on employee development. I'm big on learning, and it's just great that you guys have created an environment for that. So I do know Wednesday, April 3rd, you guys are having the Neighborhood Spotlight 2.0 at Woodall Rogers on the 4th floor from 10 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. And Sloan, could you talk about that? What is the Neighborhood Spotlight 2.0, and people that come to it, what should they expect to learn?
Well, thank you. It's really exciting. So it actually gives each team within revenue management the opportunity to showcase what they do. And they have been, it's amazing how creative our folks are. So they actually have created visuals. So when you come into each area for each team of revenue management, you'll get you'll get explanations of what they do. You'll get visuals of what they do. It's really exciting, and it'll give you the opportunity to see some of their creativity. We had a great time working together as a team and building it, and we're really looking forward to share it with others. So I hope each and every one of you actually get a chance to come to the 4th floor on Wednesday at 10 a.m. or between 10 a.m. and 12:30, and at least take a few minutes to walk around, meet us, let us tell you about what we do and how we are so passionate about what we do. I've been in revenue management many years, and I'm very passionate about revenue management. I have a great love for it. And our folks do too, and that will show especially when you get to see some of the creativity that they put forward. So hope to see you all there.
I can see the excitement on your face, Sloan, and the excitement in your voice when you talk about revenue management. I know when you guys did the neighborhood spotlight a few months ago, and I attended, I had no clue about about everything in revenue management, does. You hear revenue management, oh, you just hear billing, right? But when I saw everything, I was like, oh my gosh, I just knew a little bit, or maybe not even a little bit, maybe just a seed, what side of a mustard seed of information about what revenue management does on a day to day. But that is I think that was a great way for you guys to get creative with that and open the doors for other employees within the company to come and learn about revenue management. And like Sloan said, if you guys can go attend that, it's really good. It's really eye opening, and go meet the people who work in revenue management and get to know a little bit about them and what they do on a day-to-day basis. So Marcia Anderson, she says, thank you for sharing. This is really good, great information. Thank you, Marcia. Do we have any more questions or comments? Let me refresh the chat one more time. All righty, well, it doesn't look like we have any more comments or questions coming in. Once again, Eric and Sloan, thank you guys for being a part of Innovation Week 2024. Thank you for sharing your story. I am, who is this? Hold on. Okay. Thank you for sharing your story. I am big on stories myself, because when you hear the story, you're able to connect the dots and see the bigger picture. Congratulations once again on everything you guys are doing in revenue management, improving processes, implementing new systems, developing your employees, and giving them an opportunity to really shine here at Encore and shine in their careers. So if there is nothing else, if you guys don't have anything else, we'll go ahead and wrap it up. This is our last session for today. Tomorrow, all day Tuesday, is all about technology, and there are going to be a lot of different sessions. So don't forget to go to the website, the Innovation Week website, and register for a session. And also, everybody who registers for a session and attend will be entered into a drawing to receive some Encore award points. I don't know if a lot of people know about that, but I love those award code points where you can go and buy things from Amazon or get gift cards to like Target or CB2 or Best Buy. It's a lot of cool things in that award code program. So keep attending so your name can go in the drawing for that. And once again, thank you guys for being part of Innovation Week 2024, and thanks everyone for attending.
Thank you.